For the next video, we're going to open the tutorial, which is, sorry, not this one. We're going to do the player animation, number 4. Okay. Okay, so what is animation? So basically, animation is achieved by playing a particular set of image. Okay. Like for instance, like this, if I play this, but if I keep on playing, it creates a movement. So basically, the movement is achieved by playing several frames of pictures in a particular speed or frames per second. So that's the same concept for animation. Okay, so the player has several states. So what are the player animation states? So depending on how you design your game, so a player can be idle, a player can be walking, player can be jumping, slide, run or dash, and other movement that you want to apply animation. It also applies to several objects that you have AI. Let's say you have a bomb ato macam ada api-api. You have a spaceship with a thrusters. So those are simple animations that you can try. So hopefully this topic will uh, allow you to be your imagination to expand in order to try several animations like it. So we will start by idle, walking and jumping only. And then on the next video, we're going to talk about how to trigger those animation. Okay, so to do this, we have to go to Window, Animation. Before you start, make sure you created an animation folder inside Assets. So here I already have animation. So now I need to go to Window, Animation, bukan animator or you can just takan Control 6. And here, make sure you select the player because the animation will be assigned to the player. Okay? So make sure you select the player first. Okay? Apply dulu. So by selecting the player, go to Window, Animation. Here we're going to create a new animation. Okay? Sorry, we're going to call this player animation. So the player animation can contain several animation states that we're going to buat. Okay? So first thing we have to do is the idle animation. So we're going to create a new clip. Okay, I was wrong. It's supposed to be idle. Let me do it again. Okay, so window, animation, sorry, select the player, create. So we will call it player idle dulo. Okay, the player idle is when the player is not doing anything or it's just simply standing up, no movement whatsoever. So here, make sure that the sprites folder here, characters is open. So we're going to drag our player animation here. But before that, please click the record button. Okay, now once the record button is enabled, so we're going to drag the player idle to our animation. Take note, player idle has 1, 2, 3 states. So it creates the movement niya. So I'm gonna drag the idle one first. We're going to have a 1 column gap. Don't worry about that. Just determine how many frames the animation will run or animate. So as simple as that sadya. So now, focusing on the player, if I play this, you will see the player is moving because it's just basically Uh, it's just several images animated or combined together. Okay. So if you're not satisfied with the speed, you can change the sample. The higher the sample, the faster it is. For instance, if I make it 200, uh, medyo I'm Sonic. However, if I make it like 30 sadya, it's a bit, ano. So this one, it's up to you guys. Me, in my case, I will set it to 50 sadya. I'm okay with it, Suda. So we already created the animation for idle. Now we're going to create animation for, let's say, walk. So we're gonna create layer underscore walk. So it's here, create new clip. So you can switch between here. Layer walk. Okay, same thing we're gonna do. We're gonna click the record button or record button, and we're going to look for the walk animation here. Okay, so walk have 6 stages. I can just drag it all here. Tapi it's too fast. It's not advisable to do that one, that method, unless you're willing to change the samples like that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna undo. What I want is I want you to drag it one by one. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you look for a character sprite natin to use for your assignment, make sure they have different states of movement. So you can just Google character sprites and it will give you a sprite sheet containing all the movements on it. So if I click play, if you're satisfied with the speed, it's okay. So like mine, I will just make it 60 BRT. So next is we're gonna do the player jump. Player underscore jump. Okay, again, click record and look for the jump movement here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I play this, of course, that's the animation. Yeah, it has to be triggered when the player jumps. Okay. So again, we have the player idle. We have the player walk. And we have the player jump. Okay. So that's it. In the next video, we're going to discuss how to trigger each animations during program runtime.